All right. Welcome to our day 5 live stream with the Online Course Creation Summit. I am your host, Devin Slavin, and I am so excited to be here with you, and I want to wish you a happy Friday today. Hope your day is going well, and I hope you got a sweet weekend lined up for you. Yeah, as you know, as we get started, I want to just mention, or just first say, if you're here in the chat, can you let me know if you can hear me and see me? I'm going to just make sure to test my settings here. Looks good on my settings, actually. And yeah, let me just go ahead and post in the chat so that everyone knows to refresh the page, because if you were somebody who was on this page for a while and did not refresh the page, you wouldn't get the new video feed. All right, so okay, cool. That is already in the chat. I already put it in there, so that's good. So cool. And so again, if you're just joining us, welcome to our live stream for the Online Course Creation Summit. If you found your way to this live stream and you haven't joined the summit yet, you can easily just go right to onlinecoursecreationsummit.com and enter your name and email to sign up for free. And we've got we're at the end of week 1. So we've released over 20 interviews this week on how to design, build, and launch your own online course. Some of them are expired because they're each day new interviews are released for 48 hours, and then they're closed down. But you can always get access to them by upgrading to the All Access Pass. If you miss some, you can upgrade to the All Access Pass. And you'll get access to all of the videos, the MP3 downloads. We have transcripts coming soon. We have bonus Q&A sessions with our speakers, and even at least one course right now. We may have more bonus courses for you that you would usually have to pay for that are included. So there's probably more coming your way beyond that, but I just want to highly recommend you do that if you're at all interested in catching the interviews that have closed down so far, or just being able to watch the interviews at your own pace. We're going to do a couple of things. If this is your first live stream with us for the Online Course Creation Summit, the brief overview of what we do together will be here for about half an hour total. I love to just go over some of the highlights from today's interviews, and we also announce one winner for our epic contest, the Online Course Creation Summit. Some of our speakers have donated generously, and we have over $10,000 worth of prizes that we're giving away to you. And yeah, so very excited about that. Oh, I just realized, let me see something. There it is. How's that? Okay, my little banner at the bottom wasn't loaded, and so now I've loaded it. Okay, cool. Now we can really start, right? Okay, so we're gonna do the contest, and if you wanna find out more about the contest, just go to onlinecoursecreationsummit.com/contest. Gives you all the rules there. Basically, all you have to do is share publicly on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, and include onlinecoursecreationsummit.com and include #CourseCreationSummit. So you just share those things, and you have to make sure it's public, especially on LinkedIn and Facebook, or else I can't find it. Sometimes it's just to your friends or your connections, and if that's the case, I won't be able to find your entries. So we take all those entries every day and tally it up and put it into our random picking. It's called Random Picker. It's a random generator based on software that we have, and we'll pick a winner. So we'll be doing that at the end of the day. We'll talk a bit more about the prize at the end, but first we want to get started with today's overview of what we released. Now, one more quick thing just to mention at the beginning of this before we do go talk about today and what was released today. I do want to recommend that everyone who's here, that you go on over, click the link somewhere on this page to join us in our private Facebook group for the Online Course Creation Summit. It's where all the discussions happening on the summit. You can talk to some of the speakers are engaging with us there, giving even more value, answering questions there. I'm answering questions there. Lots of cool ideas and things happening there. And after the summit's over, we're converting that group into just a support group, a space for you as course creators to toss out ideas, get answers on questions, things like that. So it's a really cool thing. And we might even only restrict that group to members of our programs in the future. So right now you're getting in free. We may lock it down later. We'll find out soon. We'll decide on that soon. But so get in there on the Facebook group, and you can go to onlinecoursecreationsummit.com/Facebook to get in that. Okay, now like I keep on saying, let's talk about today's interviews. All right, so here we go. We're on day 5, Friday. Oh, the link went to day 7. I don't know how I did that wrong. Anyway, I'll have to fix that. So day 5, exciting things coming. We've got Dawn Mars with marsmarketing.com. That's MARRS marketing.com. And she's talking about how to automate your course and automate all of your marketing. Really cool stuff there. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We've got Encore Nagpal. I hope I'm saying his name right. Sorry, Encore, if I'm not. He is the founder and CEO of Teachable, which is a major online course platform, which I'm sure most of you guys know about Teachable already. But he talks about removing tech barriers and how to deliver on results of the clients. Yes, I have to change that. So deliver on client results. So basically, he is, we're going to talk about what that actually means and why it matters to deliver on client results, but I bet you get an idea of why. Lots more than that in the interview, by the way, but those are some of the main things. And then next up, we have Stephen Christopher with Sequus.com. That's SEEQUS.com. And he's talking about SEO essentials for online courses. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me, but SEO is like, what the heck is it and how do I do it? And I'm just trying to deliver a course. So Stephen's going to talk all about that in this interview. So check that out. We'll talk about it in a minute too. A little highlight from that. And last but not least, we have Donna Fox from webinarjam.com. She's helping out with Webinar Jam Studio. And she's talking about selling courses with webinars, and also does an epic walkthrough on how to use Webinar Jam so you can set up workshops online so that you can teach online, sell your online courses with webinars, these kinds of things. So definitely got to check out Donna's interview because, as we'll talk about in a bit, webinars, for me at least, have been a key point of my course creation and marketing journey. So that's the overview of who's up today. And these interviews will be, let's see, they got released today. It's Friday, June, it's the 10th. Geez, I'm like, is it the 10th? Man, wow, time's flying. I can't believe we're already on day 5 of the summit. And so these interviews got released midnight last night, basically this morning, early. So they will be going through tonight, and they will shut down tomorrow night, which is Saturday at midnight Pacific time. So make sure to check these interviews right now if you're on our free plan for the summit. And if you have the All Access Pass, you have it for life, so don't worry about that. All right, so let's talk about Dawn's interview for a bit. So Dawn is total rock star, and she's a specialist at marketing automation, which we talk about what that is in the interview, but for now I'll just say that really it's how you can set up online systems to essentially do work that you would have to do manually. Like somebody wants to join your email list, at a really basic level, we probably all know about this feature of an email list, of it being an autoresponder and sending out a welcome email. That's like at the very simplest level, but at a more complex level, it can track people, it can send people through multiple email series, and depending on what they do in the email series, send them a new thing. We talk about all kinds of cool things that you can do with marketing automation in this interview, so check it out. I would say, at least at a basic level, marketing automation is essential for online business and essential for online courses. So definitely want to know what Dawn has to say here. Another really cool thing I remember we talked about was really how do you map this stuff out? Like, how do you take your if you're going to do something like, well, actually, let me take one step back. So one of the things we talked about that's really important too is customizing your experience for your students or customers, so that if they get something for free, if they join you on their free list and you're starting to sell them on something, starting to get them ready to purchase your course, you might have a series of emails, like a follow-up sequence, we call that. And if they're along the follow-up sequence and they buy here at this step, but you also have 2 more emails that are still selling to them, you don't want them to get those emails, right? So, so what you can do with this marketing automation tools like Infusionsoft, Ontraport, ConvertKit, ClickFunnels. Gosh, there's got to be more of them out there. I think ActiveCampaign. Yeah, there's probably more. You know, there's new ones coming up every day, but those are some of the main ones. You can basically say when they purchase, take them off of this list and put them on a new list. You know, these kinds of things. So that's really important to have that experience in mind. Now, when we also talked about webinars and how, you know, if you're on a webinar, if you're doing a webinar, you ideally want somebody who actually showed up to the webinar to get a different email afterwards than somebody who didn't, you know, or somebody who didn't see your offer. And, you know, they need a different email as well. So the thing is, though, is how do you actually go through the process? If you have this huge system that you want to create, how do you actually go through the process of mapping that out without getting totally bogged down and overwhelmed? So she shared a process with us that's basically related to mind mapping. There's a couple of resources she mentioned, but she goes through a step-by-step process in the interview on how to, you know, how to simplify that, how to think it through. So make sure to check it out. Dawn's amazing, and definitely check out her interview and check out what she's offering to you guys for free. So very cool. Thanks, Dawn, for joining us for the Online Course Creation Summit. And next, I want to talk about Encore's interview about removing tech barriers and delivering on client results. So Encore talks about, you know, how he got into Teachable, where it came from. And the one of the main motivations was that, you know, he was really into online courses, but the barriers to technology technology to actually be able to publish your course, have it protected, and all these things were so difficult that very few people could do it. So he went out on a mission to create something that was as easy as possible, and that is where he came up with Teachable, and they've just been developing it more and more since then. And basically, they have set up a system so that people can create courses, and if you're creating a course with Teachable, you're really more focusing on just delivering the content, setting up your free stuff, setting up your sales page, but you're just entering in information and uploading things. You're not creating the whole back end. You're not connecting it all with all these different plugins with WordPress, which I also really love WordPress. But you know, he's doing it in a way to simplify it. And the point is so that you as course creators can not be bogged down with technology and let them handle that. So that is really cool. And he talks about some other really cool things in the interview. We talked about, excuse me, what was it? We talked about what's working in terms of course launches in 2016, because he has had the opportunity to see many, many courses and see which ones are successful and not. And interestingly enough, he has found that, if I'm getting this right, he's found that doing launches where you actually open up the cart, open up the course and close the course, you know, build your email list. Actually, let's start from that first. He does mention building your email list, the possibility of the idea of building your email list before you even build your course. Because if you work on engaging with your audience, you work on growing your email list and doing something that we talked about in some of the other interviews, which is, you know, interacting, engaging with the audience to find out what they're really needing, and then creating your course from then. From there, you know that it will be much more dialed into what people are wanting, and they'll buy it, more likely to buy it. But number two is that you'll actually have an email list to market it to. So that's one key thing you mentioned, is actually making sure you build a list, because the most effective course marketing, course success in terms of filling the course happens to be people who have started generating a following already. And if you're someone who's interested in doing that, we have interviews in the future that talk all about that coming up. So just keep an eye out for that. And then on to the thing I was talking about, opening and closing the cart. So he's, one of the things, if I understand this right, he was saying is, instead of having your course available all the time, every day of the year, to actually have it available only at certain times of the year, and then focus on marketing it to doing a launch every single time that you want to open up the course. And that way it builds momentum and buzz and basically gets everyone on the same page. And it allows you to focus on that one thing at a time, which is when the course is open, you're marketing it. When the course is closed, you're supporting people in the course. You know, so that's the format. So we talked about that as one of the things that he's seeing that works really well. So that's the overview. If you want more, you should definitely check out the interview with Encore today, and it's going to be available again through Saturday evening. Next, let's talk about Stephen Christopher's from sequus.com, SEO essentials for online courses. Now, I have to say, before I talk about the interview, I want to say that I met Stephen at a conference called Your Best Year Ever Blueprint with Hal Elrod, other great speakers at that as well. And he was speaking on stage. Met him afterwards, and we got talking, and found out that he runs Sequus, which is a company that works in digital marketing and SEO, search engine optimization is what that means. He also has a podcast called Biz Revolution Podcast. So check that out. Really cool stuff going on there. But one of the things, so, you know, the main focus of this interview that Stephen and I had was this focus on search engine optimization for courses. And what do we need to know as course creators? Because really, again, we're coming here to teach people, right? We're not necessarily here to geek out and, you know, have to study for years and understand search engine optimization. So he talks about the essentials of what we need to know and how to set ourselves up for success. You know, he talks about really how Google ranks different websites and what you can do to set up your website and your course to rank better. And so when people are searching for search terms that are related to your course, that'll show higher. So of course, you're going to need to watch the whole interview to get all those tips, but I'll tell you one thing, and this is kind of the coolest thing, is it's great news, because it's essentially, if you're designing your course well, you will likely rank well on SEO. And here's why. Because he said one of the reasons why, or one of the ways courses rank well on Google is if they're answering questions that people are typing into Google. So like if your course is about golf, you know, how to hit, what is a question about golf? I actually don't play enough golf. My dad plays golf, loves it, but I don't play too much golf. So it's like, you know, maybe it's like how to drive the ball 300 yards or more every time. You know, let's say that's a question people are asking. If your course is about that and it's something that people are Googling, then it will rank well on Google. And one of the things he said about that is actually to answer some of those questions on your pages, in blog posts, things like that. So the why that's good news is because, you know, if you're creating a course, it should be around things, A, that people are searching for, and B, that are the main question that people are searching for. So the good news is kind of like, even if you didn't think about SEO, you might be doing pretty well. Now, there's actually quite a bit more to SEO, and, you know, there's a lot of other things you can do, but I just wanted to highlight that for now. So that is a little bit about Stephen's interview, and make sure you check that out if you want to learn more about SEO for courses. And of course, we talk about other cool things in there too. Let me take a sip of water here. All right. So last, we've got Donna Fox from webinarjam.com, and she's with Webinar Jam Studio is the application. It is an incredible webinar platform. Like I mentioned earlier, I think I have, it's a webinar platform that I prefer, that I've been using, and I've been using it for about maybe more than 3 years now. There's other great webinar platforms out there, don't get me wrong, and there's pros and cons to everything, but I really have I found that Webinar Jam really does pretty much everything that I need it to. It's really reliable, and you can do live webinars, you can do automated webinars, all these cool things. So I'm not here to just give you a spiel and endorse Webinar Jam. This whole take up all the time doing that, but I did want to say it because I do really get a lot from Webinar Jam, and it's a great platform. So Donna talked about you know, how you can leverage webinars to launch your courses and even lead your courses live. So, you know, you can use the platform to market your courses, but you can also use the platform to teach online, you know, because like we're doing right now with Google Hangouts, Webinar Jam is wraps Google Hangouts into a webinar platform, so you can have chat, you can make offers, you can do polls, you can have people register for it and get reminders, all these cool things. So, you know, you can also even have hot seat coaching on your webinars where you can bring your participants on to talk with you via video if you want. So, you know, you can actually use Webinar Jam to run your courses as well. But, you know, probably even more importantly, you know, one of the things we talked about is how essential webinars are for marketing courses, because, you know, one of the things that you get from a webinar, sort of like what we're doing right now with the live stream, is that you're getting to interact with me live, and you're getting to see who I am as a person. And I think as people, we connect with people more live, and we need to see a little bit about who they are before we purchase. So if we just had these finely tuned videos that are professional, we want high quality videos, but if you just only receive a series of videos from me, but you weren't able to hear me speak live and engage with you in the chat and things, you might not really feel like you got to know me enough. I don't know. That's kind of my experience, is that, you know, webinars really are the key seller. You can do a lot with, you know, great free course that sells a higher priced course, or you can do a free video series. Those are great ways to market a course. But what I found time and time again is when it comes down to actually getting a larger number of people to purchase a course and enroll in it, that the webinars by far are the most effective. So we talked about that in the interview. Donna and I talked about that, and you can, you know, we talk about why, more about the psychology and why it works. And then she does this incredible walkthrough about, she does this walkthrough with Webinar Jam on how to actually just, how you can set up the whole webinar. Like she shows you how to do it, so you know what you're getting into really when you start going down the path of creating webinars, if you haven't already. And it talks about other statistics, cool reasons, compares Webinar Jam to other webinar platforms, you know, that kind of stuff, just so you know the big picture of webinars. And what else is there to say? Yeah, definitely check it out. I highly recommend, you know, if you haven't been doing webinars, that you check out that this interview, because it'll give you sort of that base platform to know, why should I be doing webinars as an online course creator, and how if I was going to get into it, how would that look? So we have another speaker coming on down the road talking about webinars, but we will talk about him and his presentation when we get to that day. So that's it about Donna Fox and Webinar Jam. Really, really great to have her on. Really love the presentation, and I'm sure you will as well. So, okay, that's the summary for day 5. Again, check those out while you can for the next less than 48 hours at this point in time that they're available for free. And if you have the All Access Pass, you can get them on demand anytime you want. And if, of course, if you don't already have the All Access Pass, all you have to do is go to onlinecoursecreationsummit.com/upgrade, not update, /upgrade to get the All Access Pass. And you get all the videos, MP3s, transcripts are coming your way soon. We've got bonus Q&A sessions and masterclasses and other things coming your way. So really cool stuff coming, a lot of value there. Check it out. Geez, I must need to drink a little bit more water. So now let's move on to the contest time. Woo! I'm excited. I think this is really cool. I'm kind of bummed. I said this yesterday that I don't get to win these prizes, but maybe one of the speakers that donated will give me a prize too. I don't know. We'll see. All right, here we go. So today's prize, this is really cool. This is a prize from somebody you haven't heard from yet. Now, we were actually going to bring her on today, but I switched. It was on my end. I switched the interviews, so it just switched things up a little. No big deal, because you will hear plenty about her when you see her interview. I'm sure you will love it. Her name's Jane Duber of Global Experts Accelerator, and what she's giving away, what they're giving away at Global Experts Accelerator is their Jumpstart package. You're going to get 30-day access to their Jumpstart package for course creation. And you know, just I want to give you a little background on Jane, because we haven't heard from her yet. But what all I need to say is that she is an expert that is producing some of the highest level courses and course management platforms that I've seen to date. It's actually completely customized. They wrote it from the ground up. They created this platform, and what it does is, it has all the bells and whistles. It's basically a premier platform. It has basically the whole marketing built into it, and it does a lot of tracking. So, I mean, I'm not going to do it justice. You're going to have to see the interview, but it does all the cool things that you can do to track client engagement, increase their participation so that they get more out of it. And it also does really cool things like keeps track of all of their coaching calls. If you're doing coaching, it does a lot of cool stuff. So she's not giving that away, because that's a whole process. That's a big thing. But she's giving away the Jumpstart package to help you create your course and get it launched, get it out there. So, and that's going to be a 30-day access pass to her package. So let's get into it. Let's choose somebody from the random picker. Again, the way you enter into our contest, it's a social sharing contest. You just go into Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter and share our onlinecoursecreationsummit.com URL and our hashtag Course Creation Summit. Share whatever you want about the summit, invite people to join. And if you share it publicly, which you don't need to worry about on Twitter because everything's public, but share it publicly on Facebook or LinkedIn, we'll find it. We'll put you into the drawing, and every time you share, you get more tickets, you get more entries, and they don't go away. So let's do it. You guys ready? All right, here we go. So I've updated this right before we went into our webinar. The one thing that I didn't mention is that every time, I kind of mentioned this, but I just want to be clear that when you post to LinkedIn or Twitter, each one of those counts as an entry, and every time you do it counts as an entry. So you can do this daily. They don't go away. All right, so I've got everyone loaded up, and what I'm going to do, all right, I am pushing the button here to pick a winner. It is giving me, I've done this yesterday. This happened where I had the page up, but if there's no activity for a while, it actually just sits there and it logs out. So here we go. All right, logging back in. I really am just doing this to create suspense. That's all this really is. So, why else would I be doing this? Okay, cool. Here we go. All right, it is choosing a winner for today, and I'm clicking to see the results. Da-da-da. Oh, it is. I saw this. Okay, cool. This is Jay. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Forgive me if I'm not doing it right. Jay Boogie Rodriguez, or Jaboogie Rodriguez, aka Juju. You have just won the Global Experts Accelerator Jumpstart package. Congratulations, Juju. Hope it's okay that I say that. That was in your Facebook profile when we copied this over. So congratulations on winning today's Jumpstart package, Jaboogie. And we are so excited for you. Congratulations. So we're going to send you an email to give you access to this, we'll connect up, make sure that we have the right person, and we will connect you up with your Global Experts Accelerator Jumpstart package. All right, so very exciting. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And just so you know, again, we're going to be taking a break for the next 2 days. We're not releasing any new interviews, but there will be, Friday's interviews will go into Saturday. So we'll take a little break for the weekend. We'll be back live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then unfortunately, next week, that's the end of the summit. So, but we will have 5 more days of interviews. That's 20 more interviews after what we've already done, and presentations, online workshops, these kinds of things. And we'll be live streaming again Monday through Friday at 12:30 Pacific time. So make sure you tune into that. Again, share this, of course. We want you to share this widely if you're getting a ton of value from it. Share it far and wide. And every time you do, if you include the link and the hashtag, you're getting entries for our contest. So keep doing that. And again, if you're not in our Facebook group, go to onlinecoursecreationsummit.com/Facebook, and you will find a link to that. You'll get access to that. Just request access. And besides that, again, if you're loving what you're getting here and you haven't already upgraded, check out the upgrade package by going to onlinecoursecreationsummit.com/upgrade. You will be getting complete access to all the interviews and presentations, the MP3s, transcripts are on their way, and master classes with many of the experts. They're going to be coming here just to give you a small group session, answer your questions, go further with content. It's going to be incredible. So join us there. And besides that, thanks for joining us for the live stream, and have an awesome weekend. And make sure you come back on Monday fresh and ready to do some more learning on course creation, course design, building, and launching. So until then, again, I'm Devin Slavin. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on Monday. Cheers. All right, got to turn my tunes back on. Let's see where we're at in this mix. If I didn't tell you, I love music. All right, see you later, guys. Peace.